Hello everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. Today we're going to make a card using Velum and the Couture Creations alcohol ink markers and some embossing and lots of different techniques to make this card. So here's some samples. So just a couple of different ways to do the same card. So I've used just some cutting dies and that from my stash. I just looked through it to find some stuff and picked out what I liked. And this is what I've come up with. So this was actually inspired by one of the members in my group. I have a card making group called Cardmaking for Beginners and Beyond. I will add the link in the description. And I do a challenge each month, and there was a card very similar to doing this technique was the winner for this month's challenge, or the February challenge. And yeah, it just inspired me to make this. So not identical to that, but yeah, it just inspired to create what we've got here. So I will show you how I have done this. So I just went through my dies and picked out a couple that I liked and popped that through the die machine and ended up with that. So the next step is using a scoreboard. I'm going to flip it over. I want the lines on this side, but I want the raised side to the front, not the indented side. So I'm just going to score it and then do it every 1/4 of an inch until I've got the amount of lines that I would like. So I guess it's embossing. It's just another way to emboss. So that's now giving me these lines on there. So we'll just pop that aside and we'll go to the next step. So I'll just pop this back in here so I don't lose it. So now I'm going to be using the Couture Creations Parchment Velum. I'll just grab the packet here. So this is a great vellum. You can heat emboss with it, and that's what we're going to be doing. So any of the Couture Creation products I'm using, just search for a stockist near you. The one I use in Australia is Image Plus Scrapbook Superstore in Tassie. But if you're not in Australia, look for a stockist near you for the Couture Creation brands, a brand of products, which I'm actually using a lot of them today. So I've just cut a piece of the vellum, and I'm now going to stamp on it. So I'm just going to pop that into place and then using this. So I'm going to actually kind of roughly work out so that the vellum is behind the card, which would be about there. And then I'm going to use this stamp. So this is from the Elegance collection, from the Couture Creations brand. And so I want that about there. So I'm going to pick that up. And then I'll move that card. So now hopefully by the time I have finished this, it will fit into that heart area on that card. Now I'm going to be using the embossing ink pad. So this is a clear sticky ink from Couture Creations, which is good for embossing because the embossing powder will stick to this clear ink. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Now because it's clear, you cannot see whether you've covered it all. So give it a good coverage until you're pretty sure it's all covered. So hopefully that's all covered. And then we'll stamp that onto the vellum. Just give it a good press so you get an even coverage all over the vellum. Making sure it's all going to come onto there. And because it's clear, obviously, it's very hard to see, but I'm not sure if the camera's picking up the shininess of that. So now I'm just going to get a piece of paper and I'm going to cover this in white embossing powder. I'll just give it a good cover, tip off the excess. There we go, I think that's got it all. I'll just pop this back in here so I don't spill it anywhere. And now, oh, excuse me, we will heat emboss this. So just when you're doing the heat embossing, heat your gun up first before you put it to the vellum. So it's fairly hot. And then we will heat that up. You can see it changing as it melts. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so that's got it all. So that's nice. Now you don't have to use white, you can use any colour you like. And now I'm just going to get some more paper. And what I'm going to do next is using the alcohol ink markers, which is this. There's a huge variety of colours in them. Actually, if I turn it up that way you can see them. So I'm going to be using that, whoops, to colour in the rose. So I'm going to use, this one's called Rose Red, which is number 218. Now on the back of this is where I'm going to colour it. So I'm going to use the brush end of the ink marker, alcohol ink marker, and I'm just going to colour in the back of the rose. Now, so it makes it easy, you don't have to worry about the lines, except your outer lines. You don't want to go over the outer lines. So while I'm doing this, if you'd like to join my Facebook group, you're more than welcome. I'll add the link in the description. I've got a couple. So as I said earlier, one is called Card Making for Beginners and Beyond. The other one is called Barossa Valley Crafts. You can share your creations in the sites, not limited to brands, so any brand is okay. Okay, so I'll just flip that over and then you can see how beautiful that colour comes through and you've got the outline of all the petals. So now I'm going to pop that aside and then again just randomly selecting some dies that I had. I have cut out these little hearts and this leaf, and again I'm going to just use the alcohol markers. So this particular one is 917 and it's called Baby Yellow. I'm just going to colour in this. Now the beauty of this is sometimes when you do die cutting you want to have things different colours, and rather than cutting out a lot of pieces with different colours, by cutting them all out in white, you can then colour in whatever area you want with these markers, which is great. Now I'll just colour in this other heart. So I've done all the others. Now you don't have to do both sides, but I'm going to. That way it doesn't really matter which side is up. Now with all the other ones, all the other little hearts that I've got there, I've actually gone over these with crystal accents. So it gives them a glossy finish and a raised texture. So it gives it like a 3D type effect as well. And it's nice and glossy. So I'm just going to do that on this one. Now normally you would leave them to dry before putting it together so you don't bump them, but haven't really got time to wait for it to dry, but that is what you would do. Then once it's dry, it's ready to use. So I'll just move this out of the way. So now the next step, I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the front of the vellum. So I'll just pop that around all the four sides, like so. And last one. And then we'll get our card and flip it over. And then we can line up. I'll just flip that over. I've got that a bit over the edge. There we go. So now we're going to line that. So that's the front of the card. So lining it up on the back of the card, so it's in the heart, or whatever, if you have a circle or whatever shape you like there. And then we'll remove the rest of the backing from the other tape. And then pop that into place. So it's stuck on there like so. And then using some Card Deco Christmas Red, I'm just going to go around the edge of the card just to give it a bit of colour. Now, if you wanted to, once you've done this, you could just leave it at that and attach it to your base card. I've missed a little die cut piece there, like so. Now, if you wanted to, as I said, you could just leave that like that and attach that to your card and have a very clean and simple card, but we're going to do just a little bit more decorating to it. So what I'm going to do now is add this foam tape. It's just thin strips, just to give the card a bit of dimension. Now, if you wanted to, you don't have to give it the dimension. You can just attach it flat to your base card. Totally up to you. It's just experiment, play around and work out what you like. I'll just get a little bit more. It's very sticky. Just pop a bit more on here. Done a bit too much. Easy enough. Trim it off. Okay. So I'll give that a good press, and then we're going to attach that to the base card. So I'll just take the backing paper off the foam adhesive. There we go. And attach that to the card. Try and getting it as centered as I can. Give it a press. Now, as I said, you could just leave it like that if you wanted to and just add a sentiment. But what we're going to do now is add these other little bits and pieces. So what I've got here is some little glue dots. So I'm just going to work out where I want this. So I'll probably put that about there. So I'll just get one of my little glue dots I'm going to pop that on there and then attach that to there. And then I'm just going to place these little hearts wherever they may go. You don't have to use hearts like in the other ones. I've used flowers. I could probably shorten that one a bit. I might need another glue dot on here. Just pop that on there. And pop some more hearts. And with another one here. And I'll pop another little glue dot on here. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to very gently add the other one that we just did. Even though it's not dry, I'll try not to move it. Pop that on there. I'm just going to trim off some of these. There we go. And now we're going to make a bow. So again, this is a little Couture Creations bow maker. You can make bows of all sizes, so the wider apart they are, the bigger you can make your bow, but I only want a little one for this. So I will do another tutorial at some stage on how to do these properly, but just roughly, we're going to go to the back and go around there. Now, if that's all I wanted to make just a single bow, then that would be it, but I want to go again to make a double bow. Then I'm going to take this through the back, bring this one over and around, bring that through. Then the one that just went under is now on the right. I'm going to make a little loop here to be able to tie this into a knot, and I can move that into place to get it centered and then have it nice and tight. And there's our little bow. I will just trim off the ends. And there's the little bow. There we go. And there it is. So easy. Just get it into place, and then we're going to stick the bow onto here. So I'm just going to use some quick dry adhesive. Just going to pop a little bit on here, attach the little bow, and that will dry on there nicely. And then, so I've just done a little congratulations here. So with some ink that's on my brush still, I'm just going to go around the edge of that just to give it a bit of colour. And again, I will attach some double-sided foam adhesive. Couple of bits on there just to give it a bit of dimension, and then we'll just work out where to sit that. Actually, I like that. That looks all right there. I might pop that there. So I've just done a congratulations, so it could be an anniversary, it could be a wedding, it could be engagement, anything you like. Okay, we'll just pop that on. And that's it, all done. So it's very effective and cute, and it's got a bit of dimension to it. So I'll just bring the other ones in so you can see with these ones I have used some flowers on there and some roses. And there's another rose, and with this one I found some fabric bows with roses on it, so I used that. And using my alcohol markers, I actually coloured the ribbon. The ribbon on this was white and I wanted it green, so I coloured in the ribbon using those alcohol markers. And there's another one. So very easy, very effective, and you can make it to suit any occasion you like. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please do give me the thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to be notified when there's more tutorials, that would be wonderful. Thank you for joining me, and we'll speak soon. Bye.